Lord forgive me for this trap shit. Sergeant Smack making backflip. Telly Hank with the action. With the Vato speaking Spanish. Frank Matthews, how I vanish. Poof. Came back like I'm King Tut. Gold BBS is on a beamer. When Fat Cat was 10 queens up. Ball off the profit, not the re-up. Fly like Puerto Rican Jesus. Uptown like I'm Baby May. Just caught a touchdown from the Bay.
And he was like, man, this ain't for you. Then he began to break me down, or break down to me the streets. See, a lot of these young people getting killed and hurt, getting themselves hurt because they ain't got no street teachers.
Right.
They just getting in and just where they fit in, following stuff. That's why Dave Ward and them so busy. 911 so busy because they ain't got no street skills. They ain't got no discipline. And a lack of discipline is a man versus the enemy. I ain't had it. I was taught by a street dude that was more younger than me, taught me the pattern in the streets. It's like the game chess. You can't play chess not knowing the description of moving of the pieces. So checker-minded street people trying to play chess with a checker mind ain't gonna work and make a mistake.
Oh, everybody, man. Money gone. Just got paid, man. Working hard, 12 hours a day, man. Money gone, man. So I was on my lunch break one Friday, man. So I said, let me guess what that boy doing, that boy Roger doing in the VA. So I rolled through the VA, man, on my lunch break. Worked right there by Hobby Airport. And as always, I pulled up, man. Roger was like the president. And man, the boy had everybody around him, man. They had their hands out. They was handing him money. He was handing them something, but I couldn't see, man. Them niggas was eating a wing dinner, man. Money, gravy all on the money. That nigga was doing it, man. I said, man, this nigga smelling good every day, looking good. Everybody in his face. And man, I said, man, this man like a celebrity over here, man. I don't know what the hell all the people in his face every day like that. So that boy looked over there and seen me like, what's up, big bro? I said, man, what's up, Rod? I said, man, you know me, just got paid again. Paycheck to paycheck, ain't got a dime. And man, that boy asked me, he said, man, you got $500? I said, yeah, I got $500. You know, that nigga got $500 time $500. That nigga got too much money. I said, shit, you want to buy $500 or he wanted then the question, he wanted $500. I said, yeah, I got it. So I hit him $500, man, and you know, my time expired. I had to go back to work. So I went back to work, man, minding mine. And later on that night, I hit that boy like, man, I'm about to go take me a shower, man. What y'all doing? He said, man, come on through the VA. So I come through the VA. Man, the boy had me $1,000, man. So, you know, later I found out 50/20s was $1,000. So he handed me the money rolled up, so I thought it was my $500. He gave it back to me. And man, I went to count that money, man, you know, good business. I know it's my little brother, but I still got to count my money behind him. I count that money, but that nigga be 50/20s, man, instead of 25. Man, it's $1,000. And man, that boy said, yeah, man, that's for you. He said he got tired of me whining and crying every Friday when I got paid. My checks was paycheck to paycheck. And man, I was about to leave. I said, man, this gonna help me. That man, and I told her, I said, ooh, boy, man. He seen me want to say it, but I did, you know. And man said, man, give me that $1,000. Gave him that $1,000, man, left. They went out, and I had to go back to work. We had inventory that Saturday morning, so I went back home, man, and went to work that morning. And that lunchtime on Saturday, I went back to the VA, man. That boy see me, man. That man had me $2,000, man. That man turned that money, doubled that money, man, overnight, man. So he handed me the money. I said, man. I said, Roy, man, you looking out for me. He said, yeah, I don't do that for anybody, man, only for you. And man, that boy said, yeah, man, that should hold you right there. I said, man, I need another one like the other one, man. One more time, man. Man, I just need this, man. You know, I'm trying to get on my feet, go buy some polos, man, some Panama or some 501 jeans, get baby. You know, I just had a newborn son, Gerard. You know, Aisha was already born and want to get Laura and them something, man, just have some money for myself. You know what I'm saying? My car was already slapped out and clean. So I wasn't tripping, man, and I went back to work that night and I called that boy Roger. And they were geared to go out, man, and do their thing. And you know me, I was tired, knees hurting, butt hurting, ankle back, working at warehouse every day. Man, I was taking a bath, a shower one day, man, just having to just look down to see what was coming out for me, man. Man, that dirt and that sweat had to turn into mud on my body working in that warehouse, man. I just watched the mud go down the drain, man. So Sunday, I called them and said, man, I'm going to come through there. And, you know, they was getting their cars cleaned up because they about to go on Martin Luther King. You know, Sunday ain't changed. That's history. Every Sunday, you gonna have a car show. Them niggas gonna tear that K up. And this ain't new. Them niggas gonna be on elbows and Vols, 84s and Vols. Man, them niggas about to tear that K up on Sundays. That's everybody's about to wash their cars, getting ready, because it's about to be a car show every Sunday. So that man pulled up to me, man. But every time he came, he had a crowd around him. Man, that man gave me $4,000. So I looked at him, man, and in my mind I said, man, what is this nigga doing, man? This nigga took $500 from me Friday afternoon. Here he comes Sunday afternoon. That nigga made a $3,500 profit. I got to ask this little nigga what he doing, man. Bro, let me holler at you. He came over there. What's up, big bro? I said, man, what you doing, man? And man, that man turned at me, man, like his demeanor, his appearance changed, man. Like something came over him. And that nigga ran up on me, man, and caught me by my face. And man, I told you, he 50 pounds soaking. You know, I got the size of me, you know. I'm working with a little something. You know, I heard something. You know, little nigga, man. And he grabbed me by my face and ran me into the wall like a pimp through one of his holes or something. And man, that man looked at me, man, got me. Like the nigga say, he said, let me tell you one motherfucking thing. Nigga, don't you ever ask me, long as you live, nigga, what the fuck I'm doing.
Life is like a puff of smoke, man. It appeared, then it vanished. You can't play chess without knowing the movement and the description of the chess pieces. Why hustle in the streets without knowing the severe consequences that can kill you or get you a life sentence in jail? One bad move, man, can make you the author of your mama tears. Give it up or you'll die with it. I left Houston in '92 and did 16 years in federal prison. My sentence was 27 years, but thank God for the crack law change, I came home 8 years earlier. And to revisit Houston and to see that Houston looked like a slum city, once a leader city, became a following city. When I left, the foreigners was everywhere. Benzes, BMWs, Lambos, Ferraris, Bentleys, Rolls Royces, man. Elbows and Vols was a Sunday car that you would take out the garage and ride down the slab showing a class of a legendary. But some kind of way, man, the mind of the Houston street people have degraded, demoted, is making us more violent. Every time I wake up in the morning, I'm seeing Houston is being the author of somebody mama's tears. But my thought is, man, if we don't come together and shut this mess down, our grandkids and our kids' children, is going to need bulletproof vests to go to school. If our young brothers, man, don't get this racism out their heart, look at the news every morning, man, and look at the skin complexion. If they don't get this racism out their heart, why I say racism? Because the white man is known to be racist. Back in the day, a white man would hang a black man and rape a black woman. Yes, sir. So he wake up and say, me go hang me a nigga or rape me a nigger girl. But when young black men wake up in the morning and say, man, let's go hit this nigga today, man. Let's rob us a nigga today. Let's rock this nigga, man. He rolling, man. Let's get this nigga, man. He be at V Live. He be over here. He be over here. And all thing on your mind is hurting you a nigga. That led me to believe that you think like a white man, and you is a white man because you're a white man with black skin. Racism got to get out y'all heart, man, and y'all need to learn to help each other, man. Street signs don't make no man. Colors don't make a man. Being accepted by a group does not make a man. A man does not follow reflection of another man. A man make his own trail. That's what a man do. So grow up and be a man, man. Trying to hurt people and look at the skin complexion that you hurt. It's time for a change, man. If not, we will continue to be the author of our mama tears. I got a movie I'm working on this year, man, and it's called The Author of My Mama Tears. I got some real live people involved. We gotta, we try to get it, man, because we, not us, Webster say I is singular, but we is a plural. We have to come together as a unit to walk in unison and be unified. We got to do it, man. If not, one morning it might be your family that used to have made themselves the author of your mama tears. Right now, man, it can be anybody's family because these streets so bad. You gotta ask yourself, if a change don't come soon, get ready for the bulletproof vest in 2020 for our grandchildren and our children's children. Life is like a puff of smoke, man. It appeared, then it vanished. We have to find a way to give it up, or we'll continue to die with it. To keep Babin's story.
Yo, we back. It's your boy Popalot. Mobb. We on our way to the great state of Texas with it. Houston to be exact. South Park to be more exact. Now, Texas, y'all know how I fuck with y'all. Stop playing. Y'all get in the comment box, run that bitch up. Now, today we are going to be covering a South Park. Matter of fact, we're going to be covering a Houston legend. And the person I'm talking about is going to be a gentleman by the name of Keith Babin. Now, if you from Houston or familiar with the Houston area, he don't need no introduction. You already know who he is. But for those of you that are not, I'm going to give you a brief breakdown. Now, his era is going to be circa the mid the 1980s, and it's going to flow up until around 1991, 1992. Now, based on my research, it's going to seem like he moved around through several states during his earlier years, and he would eventually find himself in Houston right around his senior year. Now, with the process of transferring schools from state to state, he was held back a year, something that I'm very familiar with. Something to like where they say, well, these credits are not transferable here. And I experienced that when I moved from New York to Florida and back from Florida to New York. So that was something that he dealt with early on. And then it just came to a point from an interview that I seen that he said that they determined that he started to make his own schedule, pretty much going when he wanted to. And that would ultimately lead to him dropping out, I want to say, and him getting a job at a factory where he was working these long hours, almost 6 days a week, 12-hour days. And just like anybody, like you will watch on Snowfall or one of these kind of shows, he went to go check a friend of his by the name of Roger. And this is going to be right around 1986. Now, like we heard earlier, he would talk about how first getting into the game, he gave Roger some money to flip, and then he was amazed at the amount of money that Roger was able to flip in a weekend or a 3-day span. So he would eventually want to get into the business, and he would ask Roger to figure out, well, how is he making this money? And by everything that he said, Roger did everything to get him out the game, and he explained to him how treacherous the game was, what kind of person you had to be just to be in the game. And now we talking about 1986, so this is early. A lot of money is flowing. So you know the shit is ugly out there. Niggas playing for keeps and all of that. So he pretty much explained that to Keith Babin, and Keith Babin went on to tell him that he had one child, he had a baby on the way, and he had 17 cents in his bank account. He willing to try his hand. And pretty much that would be his introduction into the game. Now, his first real introduction to the game seemed like it would come a few years later in 1988 when him and the same guy, Raj, that introduced him to the game was on a mission to catch a package when they encountered somebody that Raj would normally bully on a regular basis. And from my understanding, Keith Babin said Raj had a unloaded handgun. And so, I don't know. In my mind, I'm seeing him maybe threaten the guy with the handgun or something. But during the course of that, that would lead to Keith Babin being shot 2 times, as well as Raj being shot 11 times. So early on, that speech that Raj had given him a few years earlier would have come to fruition. Now, that wouldn't deter him because he would go on to become a kingpin and one of the most known drug dealers in Houston and definitely the South Park area. And he would be one of, if not the main reason behind a legendary rap group by the name of Street Military that was from Houston. And it consisted of members KB, Little Flea, Pharaoh, and their DJ producer by the name of Icy Hot, and a hype man by the name of Nut. The group would go on to release several albums independently and even one studio album called Still Gangsters in 2001. But just like Keith Babin, they would encounter some trouble. In 1999, Nut, who was the hype man for the group, was killed in a drive-by shooting. And then Pharaoh was convicted in an aggravated kidnapping with a deadly weapon, and he was eventually sentenced to somewhere in the area of 50 years. Now, during the course of helping them, Keith Babin was a big dog. Like I said, he was catching 50-kilo loads where he was paying $600,000, and it would be on one of those specific transactions where he kind of got into a back and forth with, I guess, the supplier or something like that, where he was on the tail end of a 50-kilo load and he was left with 5 kilos. And the supplier supposedly wanted him to sell those kilos in Houston, but he wanted to sell them in Ohio because he was purchasing them in Houston for $12,000, but he was selling them in other states like Ohio for $25,000, whereas to Houston he was only selling them for $13,500. So clearly you see why he would want to sell them in Ohio instead of Houston, but nonetheless he was stuck with these kilos, and he said that 4 of them was sold. He got stuck with one where a gentleman that he had been helping or he had met in the county jail, and he said this is where his good heart came back, almost like they say no good deed goes unpunished. A dude he met was messed up. He said he known the dude had 3 daughters, and at the time, the dude, he said prior in the past 5 months, he had kicked the dude $30,000 just here, $9,000 here, $5,000 here, $6,000, you know, one of them kind of situations. And the guy came to him and asking him what he was on. Now, he was big on playing chess and talking about chess and checkers. And he going to say this is where he slipped up during the chess game and started to play chess, because during the process of arguing with Street Military over them not showing up at the studio because they had heard themselves on the radio and dealing with this guy, he went to a place that he had 1 kilo stored while he still had the guy with him. And in turn, that led to him being convicted and sentenced to 27 years in federal prison. He would end up serving 16, and he's out right now doing a lot of positive things. He has an audio book out entitled South Park, The Change in View, that I would highly recommend people to go check out. I checked it out. It was a very, very moving story. I'm going to try to see if I can bring some of it or bring it to the channel. He's on IG. Y'all can follow him under Keith Babin. And y'all definitely know what it is with me, man. It's your boy Popalot. Y'all make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, Twitter, POP_A_LOT. I'm going to be back with some more real trill spill shit. I'm going to bring all y'all the legends that y'all been hearing about, that y'all need to know about. Y'all tag me, text me, email me, call me, CC me, however y'all want to handle it. And let me know where we need to go, what cities we haven't been to, what gangsters we miss. And I'm going to be back with some more. It's the Mobb. Mobb, Mobb, Mobb.